And we're live. Greetings, friends. Happy Saturday, and welcome back to The Last of Us Part 1 live first playthrough. Technically, not our first playthrough. The first playthrough on the PS5, if that counts. And we are deep in Pittsburgh enemy territory. Me and Ellie, me and Sadie. Sadie's here. She's happy to see you. She's all clean from her shower. Channel moderator Miko Herptile says, hello, Super Antonio, Sadie Mods, and everyone. Have a good stream, and happy Father's Day to you and yours. Same to you, Miko, and very kind of you to remember that. Well, what was I going to say? Yeah, we're here. It's interesting. It's interesting, this game, which I love, and was the reason I got a PS5. Literally the reason I got a PS5, because the PS5 reskin or remake of this game just looks so good. I needed it. I was playing on PS4 and I was absolutely loving it. And this was the reason I got a PS5. Mama One is here, and so is Papa One. Papa One, happy Father's Day, my friend. I'm glad you're here. And everyone say hi to Mama One and Papa One. Did you see the celebration and the speech in Washington? It was very inspiring. I was watching a little bit of that earlier. One thing 47 does is funny, and I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it. I don't care. I miss the Trump dance. He used to do that dance a lot, and now he's more serious. It's like, and the world is going to hell, so he can't really dance anymore because the press would just shred him. President dancing while, Israel, Iran, gays, ICE, I don't know, Hamas, Greta Thunberg, you're not allowed to dance anymore, but I miss that dance. And then he would point, and he doesn't point like this, he would point like this. He would bend here. I'm pointing at you, I'm pointing at you, donors probably. But, it's like, I would just, it was just so enthusiastic and energetic. And I'm sure if he pointed at me, I'd remember that, I'd feel like I was a part of history. And, I actually felt like a part of history just watching him make his speech. Also, I want to mention that there's a booby trap here that our First Lady is so elegant. I wasn't here for Jackie O, so I don't. It's like, but she reminds me of Jackie O. Well, she wasn't Jackie O back then. She was Mrs. Kennedy. But I don't think we've ever had such a glamorous and elegant First Lady as we do now, and that's nice. Just restoring some of the magic to the White House. Miko says, hello, Mama One and Papa One. And advanced happy Father's Day, Papa One. Papa One says, thanks, Super Antonio. We will be doing a Father's Day stream, ironically, with Batman, whose father is dead. And he's really angry about it. Papa One says, hey, Miko, hope you're doing well, my friend, and thanks. So, yeah, what I was saying earlier before I got sidetracked by politics is this game is the least popular game in the channel. That's what I wanted to tell you. In terms of likes and views and subs. And it's literally the most modern game we're playing, even though it is, I don't know, from 2014, but the reskin is from 2022. So technically this game is only 3 years old. What's that about? Mama One says, Miko, how are you doing? Poor Sadie, she had a little upset tummy today. For lunch. It was my own damn fault. But we had hot dogs for lunch, and usually, like I'll cut things up for her, give her like small chewable pieces. But, you know, it was a hot dog. So I gave her, I don't know, like a quarter with the bun. And she, of course, gobbled it down and loved it and immediately threw it up. Because she didn't bother to chew. You know, it was kind of funny. It was like a toddler. So, yeah, I felt bad for her. And I immediately fried her up another hot dog, but this time I chopped it into tiny pieces and gave her some applesauce to cool it down. So hot dog and applesauce. What could be better? And she's already forgotten it. She's like, hot dog. Pop One says, I bet the reason this game isn't doing as well is because of the Last of Us TV show. That is what I am thinking too. I think it's Pedro Pascal fatigue and also Bella Ramsey. I'm absolutely certain that's the reason why. But it's a really good game. And these guys, the last one will usually beg for mercy, and you know, we're not really going to show any mercy because the name of this game is The Last of Us, not The Last of You, Me, and everyone else. We're not trying to rebuild civilization anymore. We're just trying to survive. Miko says, thanks, Mama One and Pop One. Same old. Hope you had a great time with the poker game. Yes. Hope you won a lot. I hope Mama One and her friends enjoyed their true crime and crochet. Tonight, as specified in the title, we're going to meet Henry and Sam. It's kind of like a Walking Dead episode, and it's not going to end well. Spoiler alert. Pop One says, I had a great time last night, Miko. I won around $20, but it was fun just hanging out with friends. Yes, socializing, it's good for you. It's not the activity that is so much as the socialization and the connection. So annoying. There's traps all over the place that we don't pay attention to. We don't have dead eye. Oh, he's just standing around wondering what we're supposed to do. Kind of like a dog.
Guess this is how it ended for this zone.
Mom once says, I made our dog rig some leg warmers. He enjoyed them. The true crime was interesting. And Miko says, hey, that's good to hear, and having fun is exactly the point. I'm glad. Abandoned tank here. Never noticed that. I assume we can climb it, but Joel's more focused on we haven't really paid attention to these letters and journals, and they're very sad. It's like you can track personalities, the letter writers and the journal writers across the map, and the letters and journals get progressively more desperate and desolate. Sadie's settling down. She had her bath. She's all clean. She has her appetite and everything. It's just she's not sick. She just ate too fast. You would think I'd never feed her. Papa One says, superantonio, even though The Last of Us isn't doing well, if you enjoy it, you should keep showing us. You're what makes the gameplay interesting. Yeah, I love this game, and we're gonna keep playing it. Shiv door. There's stuff behind this for us. But I'll tell you, new favorite game is Batman Arkham Knight.
Hey, get me up.
Yeah, come here, Lily.
Exciting things coming. Excited to show you.
There you go.
We can get the Batman 66 bat suit and the Batman 66 classic Batmobile. And that will be fun. The suit looks a little goofy, and to be honest, I do prefer the Bat armor version of the Bat suit. That seems to make more sense. Yeah. And you can get the first Bat suit from 1949, and that really looks like a Mexican wrestler suit. You know, it's like the Flying Graysons. It's more of just a, I don't know. I guess it's very athletic. Oh, this is great. This part here coming up right now, the Dawn of the Wolf conversation. I really want to make a short out of this. This is the game's version of Twilight,
They're everywhere.
and
I saw this not before the outbreak.
You did?
and
Was he totally gutted by the end?
Ellie asks about it, and Joel knows all about it because he took Sarah to see this movie. Sarah, as you will recall, had this poster in her room. So it's, you know, it was the last popular movie before everything went down. Mr. Maddie is here and says, "Howdy, folks." Mama wants to, Sadie might need to get one of those bowls that slow down how fast she eats. We have them for our big dogs to protect their stomachs. Yeah, I was thinking about that. The other option is just to give her smaller meals, smaller, more frequent meals. I think she would enjoy that. And Mama wants says, "Hey, Mr. Maddie." And Papa wants says, "Mr. Maddie, glad you could make it." Mr. Maddie says, "Probably won't be in the streams for a while, as I'll be out of town tomorrow for about a week." Well, no worries, Mr. Maddie. We shall always be here for you. This channel is not going anywhere. Just going to play a lot of Batman and Last of Us and Free Roam Fridays. Maybe Stellar Blade. I was looking at Stellar Blade. It's gone up in price. It was $59 last time I checked, and now it's $69. You know, that's more than 10%. If Stellar Blade were a stock, I would be very excited and following it with interest. But it's not. It's a game. It's a commodity. It's a consumable. And then I was checking used prices, and it's like the used prices are, the secondary market is not much better. You know, you would think a used copy would sell for $30, and you'd be wrong. They're still going for like $49 to $60. I did, however, see a Japanese version. You know, it's like straight from Japan. Tariffs, no tariffs. Don't worry about it. For $90. But you know, it had a Japanese case and everything. It looked really cool. But yeah, we'll get that. Mr. Maddie asks, "Antonio, what's your favorite weapon in The Last of Us?" That's a great question. Personally, I always use a revolver because I like the bow, I think, and the shotty, of course, and the bolt action. Probably the bow, once you master it. Personally, I like the revolver because, come on, it's a revolver. Very slow reload rate on the revolvers. And, of course, the flamethrower. Mom one says, any chance of Assassin's Creed being played? If not the new one, maybe the third game. I have AC Black Flag and AC Valhalla. And I like both those games. And yeah, certainly later on, perhaps. But I'm very excited about completing Batman Arkham Knight and 100%ing it. Ow. 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 He whacked him 3 times with a baseball bat. You'd think he would go down after 1 time. But it's the apocalypse. The only way to avoid that APC is to get some altitude, get above it. At least for now. We will take that APC out later. Papa One, you'll be happy to know. And now we meet Henry and Sam, or we're on our way to meet Henry and Sam. It's very Mr. Matty says, always liked the close combat in Last of Us. My favorite thing to do with Joel is stun and then melee.
I think we lost him.
Stun with a brick or even just a shot. And then just move in. But yeah, it is a challenge to you know, the limited resources. And I really wish we could craft arrows. But that's because I love the bow. Once you upgrade the bow and Joel, the arrows are the bow is your best friend. Papa One says, I'm enjoying Batman a lot. I miss LA Noire, the time period and the style of the game. Plus it's a unique game in my opinion. I agree. There's that APC again.
They can't see us.
They also have infinite ammo. I agree. There hasn't been a game like it before or since. Here's Henry. Mr. Matty says, LA Noire is a great game. The facial expressions have aged very well for a 2011 game.
Leave him alone.
I love the style and the clothing and the plot
They're not the bad guys.
and the music and the cars, the architecture. It's a beautiful game. I agree it's aged well. And it doesn't get enough attention.
Yeah, I thought you were
And sadly, it was not very popular on this channel.
saw you.
Papa One.
You haven't noticed they don't keep kids around.
And you know, I don't really chase views,
It's nothing.
you know, but we have to
I'm Henry.
at least make an attempt, I think.
I think I caught your name was Joel.
Ellie.
How many are with you?
They're all dead, Hank. We don't know that. But we're a bunch of us.
See, Henry and Sam's hair are accurate for what would be going on post-apocalypse, and I hate to tell you, Miss Tilly's hair would be
Now it's all about
closer
you.
to this situation in 1899.
Safety
But,
numbers and all that.
She's right.
Who's looking at accuracy?
Each other. We gotta hide out not too
Mr. Matty says, it's not one of my best, Rockstar's best in my eyes. Haven't played too many Rockstar games, but my top 3 would probably go Red Dead Redemption 2, LA Noire, and GTA 5.
Sorry about that.
That's a fine list.
Don't worry. I would have probably done the same thing. Where are you from?
All the way from Hartford.
Really? I heard some bad stuff.
I'm sure if you revisited this room in The Last of Us 2, that would be a pride flag there. Sorry, algorithm. Happy Pride Month. Picking up these manuals are always good because they upgrade things without even trying. So yeah, the purpose of this playthrough is to maximize Joel and his weapons as much as we can so we can do a New Game Plus. It's all about the New Game Plus. Same with Batman Arkham Knight. Trying to get Bruce and his Batmobile to the best of our abilities, and then we can New Game Plus him. Mom once says Red Dead Redemption 2 was the best game ever created. GTA 5 was fun when it first came out, and now it's just so overdone. They literally keep beating a dead horse. Well, it's because every time they beat that horse, it poops money. So, I think you just can't help yourself. You can't walk away from profit. Cloudy says, howdy, y'all. Greetings, Cloudy. And Mom one says, hi, Cloudy. In addition to teaching Ellie how to swim, I think, and guitar, I think Joel should teach Ellie how to play chess. And Miko says, hey, Cloudy. Another comic book for Ellie.
Ellie,
Savage
got another one of
Starlight.
them comics you've been reading.
Oh, cool.
Technically, Henry and Sam are just waiting for us to follow, and we're raiding supplies. Cloudy says, Super Antonio, are you training Joel to do an all fist only run? I don't know how you would beat those bloaters down. I have no idea how you would do it. And the clickers. Pop One says, I remember my son being super excited when GTA 5 came out. Mama 1 was too, but my son was obsessed. If you would have ever told us that GTA 5 would stick around as long as it had, I would have never have believed it. I think it's a lack of imagination and ambition on Rockstar's part.
Wait. Everyone be quiet.
Mr. Matty says, on my last Red Dead playthrough, I styled one of Arthur's guns to look like Joel's revolvers. It's simple, but it works.
Man, that fucking truck. It's been hounding us ever since we
And
got
this
here.
is a sad scene
Sam, what are you doing? Nothing.
where
Get rid of it. My backpack is packed.
and Henry is Sam's older brother. It's not his father.
What is it?
But he's not going to let him have that little robot
That's right.
because it won't benefit them. It's not a weapon. It's not food. And Ellie, spoiler alert, being a klepto, is going to pick it up and try to give it to him. But it's too late. We got to sneaky a little bit.
You watch our back. What'd you find?
Mr. Matty says, just all silver and an ebony grip. I didn't do it on the double action because I prefer Schofield's.
Sure we didn't miss anything.
All right. Keep an eye out over there. I'll check this area.
Okay, let's deal with these jokers. The fun thing about all NPCs is they have very limited peripheral vision. It's a very limited range of vision. It's just like a field in front of them, perhaps 45 degrees.
Like a ninja, this guy. Fuck.
Oh, interesting. Mr. Matty says, I haven't played The Last of Us 2, but in Ellie's room you can see that toy robot. So she picked it up. But yeah, we don't acknowledge The Last of Us Part 2 on this channel, Mr. Matty. And on this channel, that feature is an alternate feature that never happened. When all of this is over, Joel is going to take Ellie back to Tommy's settlement, and they're going to make a life there, and he's going to be a strong father figure, and Ellie's going to grow up into a nice young woman and meet a nice immune young man, because she's not a lesbo anymore, because she has a strong father figure, and Joel meets a nice older lady that is a little more traditional and doesn't enjoy fist fights, and wants to help raise Ellie. And Joel dies in bed surrounded by his grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and Ellie named her first daughter Sarah, who became Joel's favorite. So that's how the game ends for me in The Last of Us Part 2. I don't know how it ends for you. And gradually, it's like, because the human race rebuilt itself, but now they're immune, and all those clickers die out. Papa One says, Super Antonio, if you don't mind me asking, do you give Sadie her shots? Do you buy them from a catalog? How does it work in Saint Denis? I guess you call a hookup. I have a vet tech, and that I know that is happy to give her shots, and she will like do a home visit. But she's the one who also mentioned casually that she could take care of any. She's a little sketchy. That she could take care of any gunshot or knife injuries that me or anyone I knew needed. So just give her a call or text her. And I was like, okay, well, I don't live that kind of life, but it's good to know. And be careful. But yeah, I met her through my old martial arts connections. She is a friend of a woman I dated,
Being so close to them.
who is want to talk about not exactly sketchy. Well, she's an undercover detective. She specialized in special medicine
Me?
addicted young women who enjoy bath lady type situations. I didn't date her for that long because I was just so stressed out by her job. I couldn't handle it. Cops date other cops. That's
Here we are.
Cloudy says, I knew someone like that. Now he's nowhere to be found. LOL. Yeah, it's a dangerous life. And Mr. Matty says, as Arthur once said to Marco Dragic, I'm inclined to agree. And Mr. Matty says, Last of Us 2, I just don't acknowledge. Mama One says, and they're going to live the Mama One and Papa One farm life happily ever after. LOL. Yeah, that's what I think, Mama One.
Hey, man, relax. We're safe.
And Papa One says, that's always good to have a back alley doctor in your phone contacts. Yeah, that's exactly what she is. We look out for our animals on our own. And us farmers don't go to the hospital until it's life or death. Yeah, I don't see any reason. I'd rather support
Every day they congregate down there.
individual entrepreneurs.
Come
But
down
I
now. It's down to a skeleton crew.
think she might be the sketchiest person I know right now.
Most of them gone. I'll sneak right past them.
I've let all those contacts go.
It'll definitely work.
I'm not as social as I used to be.
Ow!
They found some blueberries, and it's nice to see Ellie and Sam laughing and also acting like kids.
So where were you heading?
Having a childhood. Both of them grew up in this world.
Somewhere. We're gonna join up. Something funny?
Oh, it just seems like there's a lot of people putting their stock on the Fireflies these days.
Yeah, maybe there's a reason for that.
So you don't know where they are, and you're just gonna drag him across the country to find him?
I tell you what. How about I worry about my brother, you worry about your girl.
Easy. We're looking for the Fireflies, too.
Her sister is a tattoo artist. I'm remembering now because we still follow each other on Instagram, and
This is us.
so I'm sure she gets lots of contacts through
Just outside the city.
through her clients.
Tomorrow.
Lord have mercy.
You and your girl, you want to join us? It goes down tonight.
Pop one says farmers don't play when it comes to hospitals. If we call an ambulance, we are in trouble. My dad literally had a massive heart attack, finished taking my son on a horseback ride, and then made me and to be continued.
He says it's time to go.
Me and Mama One drive him to the hospital about an hour away. He also made us stop and buy a pack of Chesterfields.
So no matter what, you stick to me like glue. Like glue. Like glue. Got it. Good. Good. Right. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, y'all stay close. Okay?
This is the Walking Dead dilemma. There is safety in numbers, but you can't trust anyone except your inner circle.
I just hope you know the way.
This way.
So they're running to the bridge. They've made it across the city, and this is the last task to complete this chapter.
Okay. Let's try to take him out quiet.
Hey, how you doing? Just trying to keep warm. How's it looking out there?
I put down some infected. No sign of those tourists.
Think they're still in the city?
See, look at that. Sneaky, sneaky. You would think the other guy would have noticed. Also kind of reminds me of Javier and Arthur crossing the river while listening to Josiah talk about Bessie. Mom once says, I feel like compared to Left 4 Dead and The Last of Us, the zombies in The Walking Dead aren't a big deal. The Walking Dead zombies are more of a minor inconvenience. Yeah, the humans are the real enemy of The Walking Dead. I think that was part of the themes that they established early. And as far as I know, that franchise is still going.
There's a guy on that light up there.
It's called like The Walking Dead Dead City. I just saw an ad for it. With what's her name? Daryl's friend. I want to say Ellie, but it's not Ellie. But I almost didn't recognize her. And I was like, well, I'm glad she's still alive. Glad she's still working. She's from she was in season 1. Cloudy says, Super Antonio, do you upload shorts from your PC or from the phone? Because I upload a short from my PC, but it doesn't fill the screen. Yeah, you need to upload from your phone for shorts, Cloudy. You need the YouTube app. It's phone to phone. Because they want you to be like, the algorithm wants you to be outside filming a peaceful protest on your phone and putting that up, posting that on YouTube. They don't want you making silly little silly little videos about Batman Arkham Knight. So yeah, you have to tweak it. Like what I will email the video to my phone and so I can upload it from the phone. That also gets it into the vertical format. But you are rewarded or blessed with multiple views, thousands of views, which comes out to like 10 cents. But you know, we gained subs and attention and eyeballs from. That's the real value of shorts, at least for this channel. Excuse me, coming through. There are no dumb questions, Mr. Maddie. Only unanswered questions. Can you hear Sadie snoring? She's very relaxed. See, he just took a shotgun blast to the face, and he's still alive. And begging for mercy. There's no mercy. Joel only has mercy for Ellie and Tommy. Mama once says, wish me luck tomorrow. By the way, I just scheduled to help a horse have her baby tomorrow. She belongs to one of our neighbors. She's an American quarter horse named Gretchen. This will be her third baby. Very good luck. And I'm sure it'll go very well with your loving and capable hands.
Wait.
Hey, they're over here!
Okay, remember what I said about their safety in numbers, but you can't trust anyone.
Keep your eyes open. We ain't out of this mess. All right, check it out.
See, Joel being a hero, he's helping everyone and making sure everyone escapes before he does.
All right, kid, come on. There you go. Come on. Oh, shit. Hurry.
Cloudy, that is the question everyone asks about shorts. Cloudy says, I got 2,000 on one of my recent shorts. Why can't I get those views on my normal videos?
Okay, we gotta get him up.
Because the algorithm hates you.
I'm sorry. We're leaving.
What? This is bullshit.
Hey, now!
No worries, Cloudy. The algorithm hates me as well. Everyone, I don't know a single YouTuber except for Mr. Beast who doesn't have the exact same problem. Mom once says, calling Gretchen's owners or neighbors is stretching the term neighbors. They are friends. We literally live 45 minutes away from them. We have no actual neighbors for miles. Well, you know, it's neighbors in spirit. Okay.
Fuck, do we get out of here?
We got separated. But we'll be fine. But I like Ellie had the chance to leave with Sam and Henry, but she chose to go back with Joel, of course. Because she's bonded to Joel. Even if Joel won't admit that he's bonded to her. Cloudy says they hate my shirtless Arthur videos. And Miko says, hope all goes well with the foaling, Mama One. And Mama One says, thanks, Miko. I will keep everyone updated as she should give birth tomorrow morning around 10 when I schedule her C-section. Wow.
Bastard.
Well, you know what you're doing. Even Sadie was interested. We watched two burly Amazon guys, brutes. They definitely had Bane venom in their. They were just two giant guys in Amazon vests unloading another one of those 55-inch TVs, those giant wall TVs, and they were just so good at it. And even Sadie was interested. And it's just nice to see people who are good at their job. They're practiced, they're professional, they know exactly what to do. It doesn't matter what their job is. It's fun to see. And they just muscled it off the truck and onto a hand cart and then up the stairs, find the service elevator. Yeah, they were fine. They'd done this a million times before. I've never really wanted a TV that big. But Miko says shorts are YouTube's answers to TikTok. I agree, Miko. Seems people's attention spans and or time spent watching are also getting shorter. That's very true. It's also the movie industry is suffering because attention spans are shorter, and the youth of today aren't watching movies. They're not interested in movies. Why would I go sit down with a bunch of people when I can just watch a movie on here and instantly move on? And we got gummed up by the hazards. Let's try that again, shall we? Jump, avoid. Hey, you're awake? Tell everyone to like and subscribe, and then you can go to your crate or the couch. And tell everyone that you're a clean bird, not a dirty bird who just had her shower. Ellie can't swim, but she is going to do a leap of faith because she trusts Joel. But Joel's like, don't trust me, please don't trust me. But this is the only choice they have.
You keep me afloat.
Papa One says Gretchen is a great horse. She had her last two foals normally, but this time she is overdue. And after talking to her owners, we decided a C-section is probably for the best. And Papa One says Mama One has always been one of the best midwives, in my opinion. And I'm talking horses and humans. Mama One has helped deliver babies at home as well. My wife is wonderful at what she does. She has healing hands.
Hey, you.
And Mr. Maddie says, would you ever consider streaming the Uncharted games? I think Serena did that. She did an Uncharted series. And, yeah, think about it. I have to watch some playthroughs. See what's available on the PS Cinco de Mayo.
Joel?
Mom One says, does Sadie not like certain scenes? Does she get scared of loud sounds during games, Super Antonio? It depends. She doesn't like, she doesn't like the legendary bear, the roars. She doesn't like roars. I noticed it most I was rewatching the original Jurassic Park because I love the theme song and I love the movie, and she hated the T-Rex roars so we had to turn the TV off. I mean, we had to change the channel because it was really frightening to her. But she was very young at that point, so I don't know what it'd be like now. She doesn't like scary music. Like if, I love horror movies, and if the music is too scary, she gets anxious. And she doesn't like, people screaming and stuff like that. We were watching Friday the 13th. That was a chore for her, but I enjoyed it. Miko says, in these zombie games, movies, and series, it seems dealing with other humans are more of a trouble than the zombies themselves. I agree, Miko. They are a pain. And Mr. Matty says, you can get the first 3 on a collection for the PS4. They remastered the 4th and a spin-off for the PS5. They've called it the Nathan Drake Collection and Legacy of Thieves. And Mom One says, poor Sadie, she's a brave girl. She is indeed. But yeah, sometimes she doesn't like the sounds coming from the magic box. She'd much rather prefer that we just watch nature shows and musicals. She likes music. You know, you hear that music soothes the savage beast. You've heard that? It's not a cliche. It's absolutely true. She loves some music. Real music, not like hip hop or or thunderous heavy metal. It's like she likes vocalizations. Ella Fitzgerald. After we watched Friday the 13th, on Friday the 13th, we watched one of the Pink Panthers from the 70s, the original Pink Panthers with Peter Sellers, not Steve Martin, because again, those were some of my dad's favorite movies. And she liked the theme song to the Pink Panther, you can just tell. Papa One says, do you have a limit on how long you're allowed to stream, Super Antonio? Are you limited to 1 hour stream? If you wanted, you'd stream for 2 hours, or does the YouTube company limit it? I know you did a 2 hour live stream before, but do you have to apply to do so? No, you can stream up to 8 hours. They'll cut you off after 8 hours. And I've seen people do 8 hour streams, or I check in on them and they're still streaming. I don't know how you do that. That 2 hour stream, Night of the Living Dead, that took a lot out of me. Just sitting with you guys talking. Yeah, that's hard to do. They're hard to do. So yeah, I just do 1 hour because that's about all the conversation I have in me. Like the whole mostly peaceful thing. Okay, I'll tell you. I think
Let's go see what it is.
part of the problem with that is that these people in media, much like live streamers, they have to keep the stream, or in their case the broadcast, interesting. They have to keep talking. They have to fill the air with words. And the media's part, they also have an agenda that they've got to push. Trump bad, Black Lives Matter, all of that. And so that's why he said mostly peaceful, even though the city was on fire all around him. It's like part of it was he had an agenda to push, and part of it is you need to fill the air with words, just like Let's Go Brandon. But my point is, I can fill the air with words for about an hour before I burn out. Claudia says, when Red Dead 3 ever comes out, would you do a 24-hour stream?
Joel, we should
I
see
think
what's
that would.
in here.
I don't know. It's like you have to do you have to do it in 8 hour chunks, and then you start another stream after 8 hours, and you just keep going. We'll see when Red Dead 3 comes out. Papa One says, I was just curious, Super Antonio, and we all enjoyed your 2 hour stream, by the way. I know me and Mama One just like hanging out with everyone. It's nice to be able to chat and not having to actually leave your house. Yeah, I agree. And I wish I had it in me. I wish I had the stamina to do more, but just having this light in your face. You'll notice that a lot of streamers wear sunglasses. Yeah, it gets very tiring isn't the right word, but yeah, it's hard. Not that I'm complaining. This is the easiest job in the world. I'm just talking to you guys and hanging out. Mom once says, I still want to hear you read the original Red Dead Redemption 2 script. I will bet that will be more of a occurring series if you do so.
Do you think they'll join us? All the way to
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I don't know. We're just gonna have to see how everything pans out.
I've just got a bunch of Batman videos in the pipeline right now in the queue. And some, those the Charles Scabbard short in the Arthur Sorry Wrong Room from last night. We'll get those shorts out. Cloudy says there's a Twitch stream that has been live for 1,315 days. Wow.
Looks like there's a path up ahead. Right here.
At that point, it's a live feed. It's not even a stream anymore. I haven't been on Twitch in years. Is Twitch still a thing? Is it still popular? Is it still relevant? Mama once says, I'm curious to see how things changed from the original script to what the actual game ended up with being. I want to hear more about Eliza and Arthur's son. Well, I will look into it and give it a read or a perusal.
Can we get out this way? No, there's no way to reach that.
This is
that makes two of us.
one. This game is so easy compared to Arkham Knight, and two, I'm going to do something very clever here, or Joel's going to do something very clever, and I will show you in a minute. Cloudy says, yes, Twitch is still popular.
All right.
And three, Joel knows exactly what to do. Papa once says, for Halloween this year, we need to do a spooky campfire chat ghost stories. Have your viewers send in their scariest horror stories or ghost stories. I certainly have a few. That would be interesting. I do have a few ghost stories myself that I've never shared, that I've always considered sharing. Sadie moved on back to her crate. Sadie and I have ghost stories. There were very interesting, odd, unexplained encounters in my parents' house after my father died, and I got Sadie, just like lights turning on and off. There was one fuse that kept turning off and on. Yeah, lots of things that Sadie would notice. We'd be watching TV, and we would hear the kitchen cabinet door slam shut. It's a very distinctive, very easily identifiable sound, and even she would notice. So it wasn't just me. And yeah, things like that were happening a lot. But yeah, I got better stories than that. Cloudy says, Super Antonio, the new meta on Twitch is girls fishing in bikinis. Well, what's not to love? It's probably, I don't know. I mean, it works, I guess. I don't think it's any better than playing video games in bikinis. I mean, why not? Papa One says, I have several from Vietnam and some my dad told me from World War II. Apparently, my grandfather experienced several paranormal events with my grandpa when my grandpa fought for the German army during the Somme in World War I. Yeah, Europe is very haunted. I think that's part of it, is you need lots of traffic, lots of human traffic over centuries, a history of it, and I think that's one of the reasons why movie theaters and theaters in general, and hotels, schools, have more of those paranormal type events. It's just because there's been so much traffic in that one spot. If you believe in such things. And I'm a skeptic, even though I've seen things with my own eyes that I can't explain. Okay, here's the clever thing we do. Is jumping on this platform instead of just swimming across. Cloudy says, I only watch speedruns on Twitch. And Papa One says, Cloudy, every young man's 3 favorite things, bikinis, fishing, and girls. Ha ha. I agree, Papa One. And Cloudy says, true that, Papa One. Papa One says, my dad always said that the field hospitals during World War II were the most haunted. I can agree based on my personal experiences in Vietnam. Well, yeah, we'll do a haunted house stream, Papa One. That'll be fun. When is Halloween? That's also somebody's birthday. October 31 is a Friday, Free Roam Friday. I've got lots of Arthur and Undead Nightmare footage we can craft into a Halloween live stream.
What's up with this?
Think there's people inside?
Maybe.
Are we really going in there?
No other choice.
It's a soundtrack.
What?
Papa One says, Super Antonio, I seen where a man got arrested for drugging his female dates with certain male medicines to make sure his female dates were really females. LOL.
Someone who thought they could keep
You can always tell, just look at the wrists. Just look at the wrists. And the waist to hip ratio. You can always tell. You can't change bone structure.
Calm down. Hey, Sam.
Yeah?
Stand by the post over there.
Okay.
Pop One says, you're a Halloween birthday, aren't you, Super Antonio? I am. I am indeed. One of my happiest childhood memories, even though it wasn't happy at the time, is my first Halloween that I remember. I watched all these older kids that were out dressed up. And I asked my mom, why are they dressed up? And she said, why are they all in costumes? And my mom said, they're all in costumes for your birthday. And Miko says, bulges don't lie, LOL. And Pop One is laughing at Miko. I've fortunately never been in that situation. I can say I can say quite confidently, it's like I've had gay men hit on me, of course. But, it's like that's that's not that's not the same. And it's just been, it's odd to have that conversation because you know exactly what to say because girls have said it to you your whole life. All you have to do is say, I'm flattered, but I don't see you that way, and I'd rather we just stay friends. I remember the first time I said that, and I was like, I've heard this so many times before. I know exactly what to say. Also, I'm not gay, but a lot of gays, they're convinced that all men are gay. They're just like 2 beers in a hot tub away from being gay. It's like they have that eternal optimism that they can turn any man. And it's like I was never in the fitness industry, but I was fitness adjacent. And it's like I knew lots of people in the fitness industry, and I knew it's like, and my best friend for a time was a personal trainer, and also addicted to special medicine to make his muscles grow bigger. And so and we used to work out together, and so we I met a lot of like very masculine gay guys, like the kind of gay guys that are, that worship the male body. It's like that, the Greek ideal, let's put it that way. It's like, it's like they're trying to like craft the perfect version of themselves, which I can completely sympathize with. So I got invited to a lot of parties, and Papa one says, my niece is a Halloween baby as well, Super Antonio, my brother's oldest kid. Ironically, she hates scary stuff. She was always terrified of spooky season. And Papa one says, Mama one got flirted with by a lady at a restaurant a few years back. The girl was young enough to be our grandchild, for one. For two, Mama one was caught off guard. Yeah, well, she still got it. And you got to be careful. Machete. Let's grab the machete. Ironically, an upgraded pipe is more effective than a machete. Also, the machete is Bill's favorite melee weapon. See, yeah, the notes get progressively bleaker as you progress through the game. And we have max health. Cloudy says, I was once in a club and they started playing Ram Ranch, and that was my cue to run. Let's look for supplies. Got my green tea. I was opening a new box of green tea, and Sadie heard the crinkle of the wrapper, and she came running, and she was very disappointed that it wasn't, it's like, and I love the smell of fresh green tea, and so I wanted her to just smell it, and of course, she tried to taste it. And I was like, no, you can't taste it, I want you to smell it. It's one of my favorite smells. It wasn't one of her favorite smells, regrettably. I don't think it was. Ellie's waiting patiently. And Joel just wants to make sure he hasn't forgotten, he hasn't missed anything. We need every last scrap. And did you see those rats running? That's always an indication that danger's coming. You see the rats running away. I know that now.
Leads out.
I did not know that then.
It's too hot for a boost. Maybe there's another way to get there.
Okay, once we cross into the next room, see, and you can't go backwards anymore. The game won't let you go backwards. Once see, Ellie's not letting you go. I thought that was interesting. And once we cross into that room, all heck is going to break out. Pop one says, in New Orleans in 1990, we were there on horse business. My dad and me decided to get some beers around lunchtime, and we went to a bar called Cowboys. We thought it was a Western-style bar. Well, it was a certain kind of Western bar. And that's about all I have for you tonight, friends. Shout out to the channel members. Shout out to the mods, Miko and Papa One and Mama One. It's great talking to you. It's cloudy, and we will do a Batman Arkham Knight stream tomorrow night. It's always fun talking about ghost stories and gay guys for Pride Month. We got a little pride in. The algorithm's gonna love that. Like and subscribe. Let's bring Sadie back to say goodbye. I will return on Sunday night for Batman Arkham Knight, and I'll leave the chat open so you guys can talk amongst yourselves if you so desire. Thanks, friends, and have a great Saturday. See you soon.
Did they wipe out the entire crew over there? Let's keep searching. I want to wrap this up before sundown.
Hearing them talk, at least they're scared of us.
Just try not to let your guard down.
I'm just saying, it's good having you on my side. That was a compliment.
Okay. What about Marco?
Yeah, they're driving through that area now. Hopefully they'll flush him out.
I pray to God these tourists show their faces.
They gotta show up somewhere. This will be your lucky day.
Joel, there's a guy up on that second floor, right there.
Yeah, I see him. Stay low. turn, asshole! All right?
Oh man, endure and survive.
What? Oh, and a comic book thing.